What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Game's just finished. Tottenham 1, West Ham 1 at the London Stadium. A very, very frustrating night in East London. I mean, the game started off really well. Obviously, we got that goal, Timo Werner putting it into Brennan Johnson. I need to see it again because it took about 5 minutes to realise who scored when we were at the stadium. That's how far away from the pitch we actually were. And then, after the goal, we started strutting our stuff. Bentancur at the heart of things and creating chances. But it just I don't know what happened after that. West Ham got the goal. We just couldn't seem to break them down.
I think that's what happened. They got the goal against run of play. They got that goal from the corner. And it kind of gave them a bit of momentum. Gave them something to hang on to. And all of a sudden, they gained a bit of momentum. They gained a bit of that defensive resilience. It seemed as though in those opening 20 minutes, we looked really sharp. We came out with a point to prove, maybe try and score some goals early on. And we got the goal with the classic Ange Postecoglou goal.
Yeah. Winger to winger.
Winger to winger. And there was a brilliant stuff from Bentancur as well to set up in the centre. So it looked like we were really on it from the off. We had a few chances in the opening exchanges as well. A few shots on goal. And then out of nothing, the ball bounces in off Zuma's back, goes in, makes it 1-1. And then it became a very, very difficult game. West Ham, for a lot of that game, had like 9 players in the penalty area, clogging up those central areas, forcing us out wide. And Brennan and Werner were struggling to kind of impact the game. As much as Brennan, to be fair to him, I would say, did put a few good balls across the face of the goal, but no one really took advantage of them. Werner was, apart from that one moment where he assisted the goal, was struggling to get involved. Sonny, whenever he had any single touch of the ball, he had 2 or 3 players around him.
He just marked out of the game, wasn't he? Completely.
And yeah, I felt in that first half, after that early period, as soon as West Ham scored, we struggled to assert ourselves in the same way. It gave West Ham something to hang on to. They didn't have to come out in the way they did. They didn't have to leave the gaps that they needed to if they were losing. So it was really unfortunate that goal went in. But look, let's be honest, it's a common theme now. These goals from set pieces keeps happening. Ange just said he doesn't have a set piece coach, but I have to say maybe he's being stubborn on that because it keeps costing us every week. We keep looking very fallible from set pieces. We keep conceding goals, and today's another case of it costing us. I know you can say it's unlucky because it bounced off Zuma's back and just a really bit of a free goal, but it was
I don't think it is unlucky. It's unlucky in the sense that it went off his back, but no one's picking him up. But I think Basuma was the closest man to him. But apart from that, Zuma gets free roam in our box from a corner. Like, how can you let that happen? It just makes no sense against West Ham, and we kept giving them so many stupid corners throughout the game as well.
He scored another one from the second half as well, which I have to see again, but it looked like a really good chance. And then second half, look, again, a lot of possession, trying to break West Ham down. I thought we moved the ball a bit better in the second half, but as soon as we got anywhere near the penalty area, they just clogged it up. It was very, very difficult to break them down. And I thought we actually did some good stuff in the build-up, like some really good one-touch play,
we did.
Quick football, getting to the penalty area quite well. And then you could see we got to the penalty area and we're trying these little tap because we were getting out wide, it wasn't working, so we're trying to go through the centre. We're trying to play in very congested areas, trying to play really quickly, trying to get shots off. There are a few occasions where if the weight of pass was a bit better and things like that, maybe we could have got first-time shots off. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. We needed a bit more time in the penalty area than West Ham were allowing us, and West Ham just were able to. With Zuma, Mavropanos and everyone else in that penalty area were able to crowd us out, and we weren't able to create those chances we needed to. And at the end, in that second half, probably the best chance fell to West Ham. Antonio went through on goal, and luckily for us, his finishing boots won on because he's fired it straight at Vicario. On another day, we might have gone 2-1 down at that point. So it was frustrating. I don't think we played badly, but it was just West Ham did a job on us, I guess you have to say.
I think it was bad in the sense that when we get into the final third, we need to figure out ways how to break down these low blocks because we just seem to be passing it from side to side, get crosses in the box. The crosses, aren't really finding anyone. There's no one gambling in the box to really try and put a foot in and put it in the back of the net, apart from when we scored in the first couple of minutes. So it's really frustrating whenever we come up against a low block. It seems like it's the same problems all over again. And for a team that have conceded 4 last week, conceded 6 here to Arsenal, obviously Arsenal, very good side, but we've got to be doing more to get the ball in the back of the net, surely.
I'm sure Ange will be thinking that. You can't really come away from a game, especially in that second half, with the level of chances we created and think that's good enough. But I do think there were good things there in the way we controlled things. Some of the football we played was good at times, but It's like it was almost as if we wanted an extra half second every time in and around the penalty area, and we weren't afforded that. West Ham were very, very defensive today, and they were relying on us to make a few mistakes, counter-attack on us, and win the game that way, and use set pieces as well. And it nearly worked for them if it wasn't for some really good defending from Van der Ven, and obviously a bit of luck with Antonio's finish in that corner as well. Could have ended up losing if it wasn't. I think a draw was probably a fair result at the end. I don't think either team did enough to win the game. I think
100%.
we controlled it. West Ham barely did much as well, to be honest, apart from a few counter-attacking moments. And I think both teams will come away a bit disappointed they didn't win, but as well probably will agree that both teams didn't do enough to win. So it's a frustrating game. You come up against these teams like West Ham who are just going to try and stop you. That's their game. And that's what they did. They came into this game to try essentially and nick a draw, it seemed. And kind of, if they can win the game, they will. But their first kind of thought is to get the draw. We kind of went for the win and put a lot of risk to the game. And thankfully, we had someone like Van der Ven stopping a lot of those counters from West Ham. I actually thought our counter pressing was also quite good. I thought we were winning the ball back pretty quickly as well. So I thought there was some good stuff. But unfortunately, West Ham stopped us. And what can I say?
You need to find solutions in games like this, and we just didn't do that today. But what I was saying it to you before off camera, that I think if Dragusin would have played that left centre back role and not Mickey Van der Ven, I think we would have lost that game, because Van der Ven was so vital to us. How many times did he stop those counter attacks from West Ham today? He got a yellow card for, I think, kicking the ball away, but even that was an amazing challenge just before that. I mean, countless amount of times he was putting his foot in and getting there ahead of Antonio, getting there ahead of Jarrod Bowen and the like. So I thought Mickey Van der Ven again was sensational, came in and stepped in like he has been doing all season. And I want to give a shout out to Yves Bissouma as well, because he's come under a lot of criticism and a lot of stick over the last couple of weeks, last couple of months. And I thought, look, it wasn't the greatest displays from him, but I thought he was one of the better players on the pitch for us. A lot of the times when they were threatening for counter-attacks as well, he won the ball back in the middle of the park. And he was even driving forward a bit more today. Yeah,
I thought he had a pretty good game. I was pretty happy with him, to be honest. I thought he looked confident. I thought a lot of the time it was a bit more of the Bissouma that we saw early in the season, that confidence where even when he's under pressure, he's going to drive forward, he's going to drive into the space, and that self-confidence that he knows he's not going to get tackled. So that was really good. I thought Bentancur started so well. I was like, okay, wow, I thought he was going to have a really good game. And then all of a sudden he started making a few sloppy passes. He gave one away on the edge of the area, which Antonio had a shot from, and I don't know if it seemed like he didn't recover too much from that. I don't think he had a bad game overall, but I thought obviously he started the game really well and didn't really carry that on for the rest of the game. I thought Maddison had a mixed game. I thought actually he was starting to grow an influence before he got taken off, so I thought it was a bit strange he did take him off. Maybe he felt he was tired, but I thought he was starting to get into those pockets of spaces. I was at one moment that he looked like he definitely got fouled on the edge of the box, and the referee didn't blow up, but I thought he was...
Apparently they said on TV it was a Stonewall foul.
Yeah, it looked like one. I thought he was starting to pick up those pockets of spaces, and it was hard to be picked up, and then obviously got taken off. Kulusevski came on, and I have to say Wadecki was unfortunate because he had a couple of really good opportunities which he screwed up, especially one right at the end. So it was unfortunate, his cameo, to be honest. But yeah, I don't come away from this game thinking we were awful, but also I definitely come away from this game thinking didn't create anywhere near enough.
They just leave you wanting more, don't they? Yeah. They just leave you wanting more.
I still see some really good, as Ange would say, green shoots in the football that we play. But look, it's a work in progress, and I think that today was still evidence of that.
Yeah, we just need to be a lot more creative than we were in large parts of the game, and it's all about that Udogie chance in the last few minutes of the game. You know, we were looking for these openings throughout the whole of the second half, throughout the latter stage of the first half as well, and it finally falls to Udogie, and then it just goes straight down the throat of the keeper, and that was a chance to win the game.
Yeah, that would have been a nice smash and grab if we would have got that in the back, and then it would have been good reward for the pressure we put on. Couldn't make it tell, unfortunately, but look, it's a point that I don't think is fatal for our top four race. Man City, obviously Villa play City tomorrow, so hopefully City can do us a favour, and then at the end of this week, midweek, we can say we've gained a point on Villa, or than anything, and then there's still a lot of hard games to come. So I'm still pretty confident in this race for top four, even after more drop points today. But it was a frustrating game. I can't get away from that.
Yeah, and you look at it, and it was a massive opportunity today. With the way West Ham played, they didn't even look like they wanted to win the game today at times, you know. And with Man City playing Aston Villa, a depleted Aston Villa side tomorrow, with Ollie Watkins out and a few other guys out, 3 points would have done us the world of good in this top 4 race today. Look, it's not to be, and if they do lose, we've gained a point on them, but it's just missed chance.
I think also credit should go to Porro and Udogie, because I thought Kudus and Byrne were pretty quiet today, and I thought you've seen in previous weeks how effective they can be when especially on the counter, and Byrne and Kudus really couldn't really get the better of them. So I think Udogie and Porro defensively especially need some credit for that. But yeah, I agree. I thought West Ham started to get tired, man. When 20 minutes ago, I was like, they look like they're getting tired, but they just retreated into that low block and we just couldn't break them down, and that was it really.
And another frustrating day at the London Stadium, pretty much a carbon copy of last year's game, where we take the lead early, concede around the half-time mark, and we draw the game 1-1. So another frustrating day at the London Stadium. We'll be back in the studio tomorrow to dissect each and every kick of the ball. But thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.